My Nobel Peace Prize winner was Saul Bellow. The history: Saul was born in the Progressive Era in 1915, and he died in the Common Era in 2005. In the early 1900s, the stock markets crashed and the banks failed, and people lost their jobs because of the Great Depression. And World War II marked the end of the Great Depression. The economy and employment. The economic impact of the Great Depression was enormous. Extreme human suffrage. There was intense in the economic policy. Spending and investing dropped tremendously, and causing companies to fail and laid off workers. 15 million workers were unemployed because of this. Governmental systems and organizational schemes. Herbert Hoover was the president during the Great Depression, and there was a widespread unemployment. The government tried to help the Depression by spending millions of dollars on relief programs. The majority of these relief programs failed. They didn't help at all. Religion and religious conflicts. The Great Depression caused an upset of people's beliefs and values. The social gospel movement was brought by the Protestants during the late Progressive Era. The largest Protestant groups or denominations at this time were Baptists, Methodists, Lutherans, Holiest Movement, and Congregationalists. Methods of dress. Women wore dresses and kept their hair close to their head. Fur and floral patterns were in style at that time. Men wore suits and padded shoulders and trouser pants that were cuffed at the bottom, and there was a crease down the middle. Women who worked in the factories wore trouser pants and button-up shirts similar to the men's dress. The coats were long and down to the knee for warmth. Dance. People often went ballroom dancing, swing dancing, foxtrot dancing, and danced to jazz music and swing music. People turned to movies and dancing during the Depression for entertainment. Artists during the time tried to reveal their feelings through their art. A very famous painting was this one, the Gothic by Grant Wood. It shows a farmer standing next to a woman who has been interpreted to be his sister. The music, the most popular music at this time was swing music. Jazz music was also played, but it was not as popular. Popular band leaders were Duke Ellington, Benny Goodman, and Glenn Miller. Musical films from this time influenced pop culture. Their diet: the poor people mostly ate potatoes, bread, and cheese. The working class people had meat a couple times a week. Small farms raised chickens, eggs, hogs, and cattle for meat. Women baked their own bread, and if you were overweight, it showed that you were wealthy. The recreational activities: kids made their own toys, girls made dolls, and boys made slings to fire small stones. They played with wooden tops and marbles. Sports that were popular at this time were baseball, football, basketball, boxing, golf, tennis, and swimming, and spectators would come and watch these athletics. The cultural contributions: Italians organized labor supply in America, such as mining, textiles, clothing manufacturing. The Germans brought traditions, inventions, sports, and food. The Irish labored in coal mines, built railroads and canals. His childhood and family: he was born on June 10th, 1915 in Canada. His father is Abraham Bellow, mother Lescha Gordon, his brother is Maurice Bellow, and his son is Adam Bellow. Can you seriously stop? Yeah, okay, stop. his education and career, he studied at Northwestern University. He became a merchant marine during World War II. He also wrote his first book during World War II, Dangling Man. He was known for writing novels about the possibilities of human awakening. He was awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature and the Nobel Medal of Arts. His famous work, Herzog by Saul Bellow, was published in September 21st, 1964. The plot was Moses Herzog was a scholar of Jewish heritage who is also had faith in himself. Moses writes letters to people, but he never sends them. He wrote them to his family, friends, acquaintances, writers, and the dead. His prize-worthy, he had complimentary culture in his works that made them so popular. His other famous works, Henderson, the Rain King, by Saul Bellow, was published in February 23rd, 1959. The plot was Eugene Henderson is a troubled middle-aged man who continues to hear a voice cry out, "I want, I want, I want." Henderson goes to Africa to try and find out what the voice wants from him. The majority of Saul Bellow's novels had something to do with his life and the struggles he and his spouse had. And there's no reason.
Hello, this is Michael